Chiefs State.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Henny.
This is Beers
and Beards.
We're drinking and talking football. We're going to get right down to our Week 3 picks. And we start off with Thursday Night Football. Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs are coming home to Philadelphia. Who's your pick?
I'm going with Philly. Andy Reid's going to be in for a rude awakening. You're going to see what he's been missing. Number one, that's a quarterback.
Now, I was very tempted to go with Kansas City last week, and I should have. I'm very tempted to go with them this week, and I'm going to veer away again. I think they're probably the better football team, but I think that Philadelphia is more exciting and more explosive, and I think they're going to put up some points. I think the Eagles win. 1 o'clock Sunday, we've got Green Bay at Cincinnati.
Aaron Rodgers, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. I think Green Bay is taking this one, Jim.
It's hard for me to pick against Green Bay right now. I like Cincinnati. I think this is a close contest. I think Green Bay puts too many points on the board, which takes us to Dallas. When the St. Louis Rams are coming to town, I think I know where you're going.
Man, as long as they ain't got Steven Jackson no more, I'm going Dallas. Also, only problem they ever gave us was Steven Jackson.
I think the Rams miss Steven Jackson. They haven't put up a lot in rushing yardage thus far. I think they pull off a win in Dallas. I think your team is shakier than you'd like to admit. I think that St. Louis is better than people think. I'm going with St. Louis. I think Sam Bradford has a big game this week.
What?
I'm dead serious. Next up, we got Tennessee. San Diego is coming to town.
Phillip Rivers is taking that one. He's taking that one back to San Diego with the W.
I think we might be seeing the old Phillip Rivers. I think somehow he found his way back. I think San Diego gets the win there as well. Cleveland travels to Minnesota.
You know Adrian Peterson gonna run all over them Cleveland Browns. I don't even think the Cleveland Browns is gonna score. But 14, I give them about 9. 3 field goals. That's it.
I think this will be a closer game than you think for one reason and one reason alone.
I know.
Christian Ponder. However, I do think AP does enough to give Minnesota the victory. I think that's a win for the Vikings. We've got Tampa Bay coming to New England.
Well, New England's going to win now. Tom Brady sure got that message across last week. Did y'all see him on the sidelines?
He was a little upset.
A little. Man, he looked like his blood pressure was through the roof.
Now, New England has problems. Everybody's talking about the situation at wide receiver. This is obvious.
Situation at tight end.
Tampa Bay has bigger problems. I like the New England Patriots as well in this one. We got Arizona coming to New Orleans. I think somebody might be going upset here.
Yeah, man. I don't think you can call it an upset. I really don't think New Orleans is as good as advertised. And I think Carson Palmer, Larry Fitzgerald, I believe in those guys. Now, I don't want to give them too much of it. I think they're going to win about 8 games, 9 maybe, but I think they're a lot better than they were last year.
I think New Orleans gets a win here. I don't see Sean Payton and Drew Brees dropping their guard in New Orleans. I think New Orleans gets the victory in this one. Next up, the Detroit Lions visit the Washington Redskins.
I gotta go with the Lions. I know earlier I said that it was gonna be all skins. I think they're gonna figure it out. I think I was prematurely jumping into that. I do think the Redskins will figure it out. It's not gonna be this week though.
Washington's got no defense.
They got nothing to stop Megatron. I had to think about that.
The only offense they have comes in the second half when it's garbage time because they've lost the game 2 weeks in a row in the first half. I thought Washington was going to make some noise this year. I was wrong. I think the Detroit Lions come to town and come away with a victory. Next up, we've got 0-2 versus 0-2, and it's going to be a surprise for either of these teams to wind up being 0-3, but it's going to happen. We've got the New York Giants at the Carolina Panthers.
I don't really think that the New York Giants have been able to put together any type of running game that's going to stop or compete with what Cam Newton's about to do to their defense.
I like the Carolina Panthers here as well. I think they're better than advertised. And New York, I mean, they can't run the ball. They're turning the ball over left and right. I've said 2 weeks in a row that people sleep on Eli and people sleep on Tom Coughlin when they shouldn't. Maybe I'm wrong this year. Let's go ahead and sleep on them a little bit. I've got the Carolina Panthers picking up their first win. Next up, Houston visits Baltimore.
I expect this one's going to be a heavyweight slugfight.
It's a tough one to call. I think I'm going to go ahead and jump out there since you're thinking about it. Probably the toughest game we've called thus far. I'm going to go with the champs. They're at home. I know they're going to miss Ray Rice in a big way, but Houston may be missing Andre Johnson. I'm going Baltimore.
And I want to call the Texans so bad. I really do. But on the road, I think I got to go with Flacco. He's going to grab his get together this week.
Atlanta at Miami.
Atlanta's winning that one. I know Steven Jackson's going to be out, probably. But Matt Ryan's got more than enough weapons to overcompensate for that. Tony G, Julio, Roddy White, I don't think Miami has an answer.
I went against Miami last week. They looked sharp. It came back to bite me. I'm doing it again this week. Only because the Atlanta Falcons are coming to town. I'm with you there. I take Atlanta. Buffalo, after a surprising win in the final seconds, crazy win last week, goes to play at New York against the Jets. I guess I should say at New Jersey against the Jets.
Well, Jets, Geno Smith, there's always a way. But Buffalo, I'm not so sure about their defense. Running game, CJ Spiller, this might not be a good matchup for him.
He's on my team.
I'm going with the Jets.
We've gone from making fun of the Jets to having you pick the Jets on the show. I can't go there with you. They're still the Jets as far as I'm concerned, although they are a lot better than I thought. I'll admit that much. I do think Buffalo has some things happening, and I think that Jay Manuel and CJ Spiller are exciting players. I think this could be an exciting game. I'm going with Buffalo. Who gets to play those pissed off San Francisco 49ers after they got stomped on Sunday Night Football? That honor goes to the Indianapolis Colts, who are coming to San Fran. Who do you take in that one?
San Fran, no doubt. Colts don't have it. Not for the what's going to happen to them on Sunday.
I'm going with San Fran as well here. Jacksonville. Gus Bradley, new head coach, formerly the defensive coordinator in Seattle. That's where they're going to play this weekend. Who do you take in that one?
I know who you're going with.
Easy pick for me. Very easy pick.
I think that's an easy pick for everybody this week. I'm going with Seattle Seahawks, man.
I expect big things in that one.
Yeah, man, I think it's going to be worse than last week.
That's like a homecoming game.
Yeah, it might get ugly, bro.
Just as long as they don't overlook Jacksonville, although I'm not sure that you could overlook Jacksonville. Sunday Night Football. We've got the Chicago Bears coming to play the Pittsburgh Steelers, who look like they're having issues.
Pittsburgh Steelers do got a couple of issues. And on Sunday, one of them's going to be Brandon Marshall. I know Big Ben's going to be on the sideline looking real jealous because he ain't got no weapons like Brandon Marshall.
I like Antonio Brown, but he's not Brandon Marshall. Pittsburgh is struggling. It's not the same old Steelers team. I'm with you there. So, Chicago takes Sunday Night Football. Monday Night Football might not be a harder game to pick. We've got the Oakland Raiders coming to play the Denver Broncos.
You know I'm going over. Psych! Peyton Manning's getting the job done on Monday Night Football. He always shines on Monday Night Football. Don't ever put money against Peyton Manning on Monday nights. It's gonna turn out bad. Terrell Pryor's gonna make it kind of interesting, but Oakland.
Yeah. All I'm saying is we'd have a lot more comments and we'd have a lot more response to the show this week if you really took over. But I'll leave that entirely up to you because
I know
there's no way I'm not picking the Denver Broncos in this one.
I know my friend James would be really excited if I picked the Raiders, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat the Broncos.
Yeah.
I think the Broncos might be the best team in the NFL.
No way. So those are our picks. We'd love to hear from you. If you don't like the fact we picked against your team, everybody always gets upset about that. If you're in agreement.
I don't like the fact you picked against my team.
Well,
you know
I missed that one last week and I wanted to. And Kansas City would have made me look very good. I'm going the other way, but let us know how you feel.